The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 16th Chapter, Text number 5, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on January 2nd, 1974, in Los Angeles.
So, here is the basic principle is, Jadi Krishna Kathasram. Devotees are interested to discuss something if it is helping us how we can become more and more attached to Krishna. That is it. Otherwise, we are not interested in the matter of general principles of morality, social culture, ethics. They are required. But because this material world means it is a contaminated world, infected world. So, here in this material world, so-called morality or immorality is the same, because it is infected. Just try to understand. If there is an epidemic infection, so in that condition, first of all, what is the necessity? First thing is to disinfect the epidemic. In the infected area, you cannot derive any benefit by discussing morality or immorality. The man is dying out of infection. So, to an immediately dying person who is sure to die due to infection, what is the use of giving instruction of morality or immorality? He is going to die. Similarly, in this world, they have invented so many things, philanthropism, altruism, nationalism, thisism, thatism, but without Krishna. It is the same position. Without Krishna consciousness, he is going to hell, however moral he may be, however pious he may be, so-called. If he does not know Krishna, it has no meaning. Therefore the first condition was that we are interested to hear about Maharaja Pariksit punishing the colleague, provided it helps us to advance in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise we have no interest. This should be the principle of devotion. We can take part in everything, politics, sociology, or philanthropism, altruism. There are so many things I have discovered. Provided by taking part in that department of activities, we advance our Krishna consciousness. Otherwise reject, don't take part. He'll be implicated. That philosophy, technique, dhori mas nachui pani, that we should fish, but don't touch the water. If on the plea of fishing you fall down in the water and you are gone, then what is this? So sometimes we say that you take part in politics. Our business is not to take part in politics for acquiring big posts like president or secretary or attorney general. What will do then? We have no meaning for this post. Because for a devotee, what are these posts? Even the post of Lord Brahma or Indra, the heavenly king, it has no meaning. Vidhi Mahendraadishcha Kitayate. That is stated by Prabhupada Saraswati. He says that Kaivallam Narakayate. Kaivallam, the monism, to merge into the effulgence, to absolute truth, to become one. That is called Kaivallam. Only spirit, that's all. So for a devotee, this Kaivalya perfection, monism, is as good as hellish condition of life. Kaivallam Narakayate. And Tidasapura Akasha Puspayate. Tidasapur means the higher heavenly planets where big demigods live. Just like people are trying to go to this planet, that planet. So Tidasapur. Tidasa means 30. 3 dasa. 10 times, 3 times 10. So there are 30 millions of demigods. And they have got different planets also. So they are promised, if you come to this demigod's planet, Janti Deva Brata Deva, you will get so much happiness, you will live for so many years, you will have better standard of life, 1,000 times more than they are described in the Vedas. But a devotee says that this Tidasapura, this heavenly planet, is as good as phantasmagoria. They have no value for these things. So, this is the aspiration of the Kurmis, to elevate life to higher standard of life. As the world is going on, the struggle is going on for having a higher standard of life. But they are becoming implicated. Now there was bull-drawn cart or horse-drawn carriages. Now they have got nice cars also, but the problem is petrol. So the Kurmi world is like that. You create one kind of happiness, by side you create another kind of unhappiness. This is called Kurmism. Just like if you want to raise one big skyscraper building, then you have to dig somewhere to get the earth, to make the bricks and the iron. You cannot manufacture without taking help of the nature. So if you raise here, you must dig here. This is Kurmism. If you want to enjoy something extraordinarily, you must create another unhappiness extraordinary. This is called Kurmi. Therefore they are murhas. Murhas means rascals, asses. They do not know that by increasing every year new motor cars, I am creating another problem. If there is no petrol, then the whole business will be spoiled. That they do not know. And because they do not know, they are called asses. Mura. The effect they do not know. So, the Tidasapura, going to the heavenly planet, just like they are going to the moon planet, but problems after problem, contemplating how to make a platform in the sky to get petrol. The problem is there. Not that very easily going. The problematic. Things are problematic. So, these kinds of plans, just like Ravana, he said, what is the use of? I become devotee. If you want to go to the heavenly planet, I shall make a solid staircase, reinforced concrete, and you can go there. There is no need of endeavoring for austerities, penance, no. So, these people are trying like Rama, that we shall take you to the moon planet, Venus planet, this planet, and give us money. Now we spend, you go on spending. In future. So, these karmis are just like phantasmagoria, below the vision. And jnanis, they are also merging into the effulgence of Brahma. That is also another foolishness. Because actually nobody can remain in that. Just like we are feeling happy here, because we have got so many friends here, ladies and gentlemen, and you are talking. Now, if it was vacant, nobody is here, sometimes in our temple, that's not very good. Nobody likes to sit. Is it fact? Every day. Because we are so many, it is very pleasing to sit there. So, by nature, a living entity wants society. Society, friendship and love, divinely bestowed upon man. That is required. And if you live in a forlorn place, nobody is there, no society, no friend, then how long you can stay there? You cannot stay. Just like if you go on the sky by aeroplane, after 4, 5, 6 hours, you become disturbed. When the plane will get down? This is natural. Why? Why the plane? You are flying very nicely. There is no turmoil, no noise in the sky. Go nicely. No. Similarly in the ship also, you travel for many days. So it will be disturbing. People are searching after when we shall land in some place. So living entity by nature, he wants association. Artificially he wants to, just like some of the divorced, they like that now we shall go in a solitary place and chant Hare Krishna. Well, that is a different position. It is not possible for the ordinary man. So going to the Brahma effulgence, simply realizing that I am spirit soul, I have nothing to do, that will not be beneficial. It will again come down. Arujya kichena parang padang tataha patanti adha anadita jusmadangraya. If you do not get shelter, simply to remain in the impersonal Brahma effulgence will not make you happy. Artificially you can stay there for some time, otherwise you will again fall down in this material world for varieties of enjoyment. Because that impersonality is impersonal person, those who are attached to impersonal philosophy, they do not care to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They say it is Maya. To become impersonal is perfection. So they cannot remain in impersonal feature for a very long time, because nature, we are part and parcel of Krishna. The only fault is that we have tried to imitate Krishna here in this material world. Otherwise, that instinct is there. Just like Krishna is enjoying with gopis and Radharani. Because I am part and parcel of Krishna, that instinct must be in me also, in minute quantity. But that must be in me. Therefore, we also want to enjoy with so-called lover or beloved or girls or boys. But we are trying to enjoy in a false platform, this material world. Therefore, we are becoming bad. The same enjoyment which Krishna is offering by his descendants, that if you want to enjoy like this in the society of beautiful young boys and girls, come to me, here it is. reality. But that they will know. That they will make impersonal. Being frustrated in this material platform, they want to make it zero, sunnavadi. Sunnavadi. Be disgusted, because you cannot be happy in this material enjoyment. So at times it will be disgusting. That is jnana bhumika. So we have tried our best. What is the use of this enjoyment? Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya, this is all false. Now let us become Brahma, become one with Brahma. But that is also false. That idea to become one with Brahma, that is also false. So reality is Krishna consciousness. Therefore, these sages, big great sages, they are hearing Sutta Goswami. They ask the reason why the king, Maharaja Pariksit, punished that Kali in the dress of a king. And so, if possible, kindly describe the reason, and provided it will help our Krishna consciousness. This is the condition. Jadi Krishna kathasrayam, if there is connection with Krishna, just like the Bhagavad Gita, it is a topic on the battlefield. Senaya ruhayan madhi ratasthapayamay uchita. Arjuna is asking Krishna, please keep my chariot between the two flanks of armies. This is completely military proposal. But why you are interested to hear about Bhagavad Gita? Because Krishna Kathasrayam. Because there is Krishna Katha. There is an instruction of Krishna. Therefore he is interested. Otherwise, what is the use of hearing somebody is fighting with somebody and is asking his chariot driver, place my chariot in this position, let me see whom I shall have to fight. So, what is the use of? There is no use. People are interested in reading, but they are reading all so-called literature, poetry, but we are not interested in such kind of literature, because there is no Krishna Katha. We are interested in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because it is Krishna Katha. The same propensity, everyone wants to read something. So we also want to read something. But we read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita because there is Krishna Katha. We are not interested with any other rubbish literature. However, nicely it is prepared. Tadvaga vishabdat janataga viplava. Janataga viplava jasmin pratishlokam avadhavatapi namani anantasya jasankitani jat sinnanti gayanti ginanti sadhava. That kind of literature where namani anantasya, the holy name of the Ananta, the Supreme Unlimited, namani anantasya, jasankitani, his glories are described. Such kind of literature, sinnanti, ginanti, gayanti, sadhava. That is interesting to the sadhava. They hear, they chant, sinnanti, gayanti, ginanti, and accept the philosophy. Tadvaga vishabdat janataga vipra jasmin pratisloka, even those verses are not very nicely composed from literary point of view, is still a sadhu who is saintly person. He will take interest in that kind of literature. And other literature, tadvayasa tirtha. Other literature, because there is no description of the Supreme Absolute, that is the pleasure place for the crows. Thank you very much.
The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 16th Chapter, Text number 6, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on January 3rd, 1973, in Los Angeles.
The same last paragraph, the Lord Krsna Kathasvaya. The proposal was that we are interested to hear about Kolis being punished by Maharaja Pariksit. If there is some connection of Krishna consciousness, that is the principle of Krishna consciousness, we shall not do anything which has no connection with Krishna. This is Krishna. One should be very alert. I am going to do this, whether it has got any connection with Krishna. I am going to eat this, whether there is any connection with Krishna. In this way, we have got always some activities, some action of the senses, that if we test every moment whether this has got any connection with Krishna, then we will even say, I am going to talk with you or somebody else. Whether that talk has got any connection with Krishna. If it has no, then I am not going to talk. Nibbandhi Krishna Sambandhi Yukta Vairagam Uchyate. That is really renunciation. Renunciation does not mean I change this cloth to another shape of cloth and another color of cloth. Renunciation means I will not associate with anything which has no connection with Krishna. This is renunciation. Because for a Krishna conscious person, to waste in a moment of life without Krishna consciousness is a very dangerous action. Not only anyone who is interested for higher level of position, he should be very careful of using every moment of life. Saunaka Pandit's advice, moral instruction of Saunaka Pandit. He says, practical proposition, Ayusha Chanaikovi, Nalabhya Sarnakoti bhi, Sachet Nidarthakaganita Kanuhani Statudhika. He is advising that our duration of life, that is limited. It is by destiny limited. Therefore in the horoscope it is said that so many years this man will live. That's fact. So any big scientist, big philosopher, they may be very, very big men, but the so-called scientist cannot increase in one day's life. That is not possible. You have to die. The moment you are destined to die, you must die. So, not only day, even a moment you cannot increase. A moment you cannot increase. Therefore, Saunaka Pandit says, Ayusha Chanaikovi, we have got a certain duration of life. Now, what is gone in this life? Suppose yesterday was 2nd January 1974. This morning it is finished. Now it is 3rd January 1974. Can you bring 1973 or 1974, 2nd January again? No, that is not possible. It is gone forever. It is gone forever. Similarly, Every moment of our life is going forever, never to come back. Saunaka Pandit says, Nalabhya sarnakotivi. If you request that now my age is, say, 78 years, if I request somebody that I give you millions of dollars, make my life 77 years, well, that is not possible. Not 77 years, even a moment. Therefore, Saunaka Pandit says, every moment of life is so valuable that you cannot get back it in offering hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars. That is not possible. So, if that moment is wasted for nothing, just imagine what is your loss. A thing which you cannot get back by paying millions of dollars, if that is lost unnecessarily, then how much loss you are suffering, just imagine, this is material calculation. Why we keep some valuable things or jewel very carefully? Because we know if I lose this jewel, I lose so much money. Similarly, we should always consider that the modern civilization, classical civilization, they do not know how to utilize life. So many days, so many hours, that's simply wasting, simply wasting. It is said that the sun rise and sunset. During this period, the sun's business is to take away the duration of our life. Sunrise and sunset. That means 12 hours or 13 hours, which is gone between the sunrise and sunset. This sun's business is to take away the portion, the fixed up duration of life which I have been given. That is, some of it is taken away. The same example, just like you have got a fixed balance in the bank. If you draw even 10 pence, 10 shilling, that means it is taken away. You have to replace it, but replacing is not possible. The bank balance you can replace, but the balance, suppose you have passed, I have passed, suppose if I live for 80 years or 90 years or 100 years, so this 78 years is already taken away. It cannot be replaced. You cannot make the bank balance or the duration again complete. That is not possible. This is plain fact. Therefore, here it is said, those who are Krishna conscious, they must measure every moment whether this moment has been spent without Krishna consciousness. That is the criteria. Abbartha kalatam, namagane sadarishi. This is the taste of advanced Krishna consciousness. Rupa Goswami. Abbartha kalatam. Abbartha kalatam means whether my time has been spent uselessly. One should be allowed. Whether my time has been uselessly spent by talking nonsense. In another place, Rupa Goswami says, Utyahara priyasascha prajalpo niyamagraha. Lolang janasangascha sarabhi bhakti pranasati. By 6 kinds of activities, you will lose your holding in Krishna consciousness. What is that? Utyahara. Too much eating. Ahara means collection or eating. So either too much collection. Our society, international society, we must collect thousands and thousands of dollars. But for spending it for Krishna, not for keeping in the bank, that is not our business. We must collect as much. Suppose for doing some business, you are constructing, or temple in Vrindavan, we require 50 lakhs. That is required. But I shall not collect more than 50 lakhs, even 1 cent. This is uttara. Similarly, if your body can consume foodstuff, 1 kilo or half kilo, you can eat. But not even an ounce or even, what is called, grain, more than that. That is uttara. You eat. It is not forbidden to eating, but you must eat as much as you can digest very nicely, not more than. This is against bhakti principle. Eating too much or collecting too much. Utyahara. And prayasa. Prayasa means do something with extraordinary endeavor. So, of course, we have to do sometimes, but it is the general principle. We shall accept, suppose we are constructing a temple. If it is about $2 million required, or also $5 million. If we cannot do that, we shall not attend. That is prayas, unnecessary endeavor, which is within your control. You should act. Utyahara prayasa. And prajalpa. Prajalpa means talking all nonsense. Suppose politics. What Mr. Nixon did yesterday, or what did he say? So what interest we have got in this Mr. Nixon? We shall not waste our time talking this politics, this sociology, this cinema, this actor. No. We have nothing to do with that. That is called prajalpa, unnecessary talk. Talking means decreasing your duration of life. Talking. So why should you decrease your life unnecessarily? Every moment you have to utilize. Whether it is used for Krishna, this is sadhana. This is sadhana, practice. Unnecessarily talking, unnecessarily making enemies, unnecessarily, you are my subordinate, I am your master. And who is master? Everyone is subordinate to Krishna. Nobody is master. Why you talk unnecessarily? Therefore it is said that Imannai rasadalapai, asat. Asat means that will not exist. And sat means which will exist. We do not know which will exist, but we know that this body will not exist. That everyone will know. And what is that thing which will exist? That we do not know, the soul. That we do not. We know what will not exist. That everyone knows. And in Bhagavad Gita it is said, Avinashiti tadvidhi, jena sarvam idam tad. Antavatri me deha, nitya sukta saririna. Everything is there. We know that this body is asa. Antavat. Antavat means which has got an end. Antavatri me deha. This body has got an end at a certain date. Everyone knows. But there is the other end. Nitya sukta saririna. But within the body, which is the living force of this body, which is moving this body, that is nitya. Two things are there. My body and the force within the body. Everyone knows as soon as the force is withdrawn or gone away, then this body has no more movement, there is no value. That everyone knows. But they will explain in different way. But according to our Vedic knowledge, that which is moving this body, that is eternal. That is not finished. After the end of this body, the body is burnt into ashes or buried into the earth, and still, yes. Na hannate hannamane sarire. In this way, every step, Sang Bhagavan, personally, Krishna is instructing us, and we are so full, we cannot understand. We cannot understand. big politicians, they read Bhagavad Gita in our country. But by their action it is seen they did not understand even a word of Bhagavad Gita. Even a word of Bhagavad Gita. Big politicians, they become very big Mahatmas or great men. But they tried for this body, which is to be finished. Antavati media. Nobody tried for that thing which will never be finished, that is eternal. You find from their life. They never instructed about the soul. They dealt with politics very nicely to give bluff that within 1 year I shall give you liberation and this and that. About this. What is the value of this liberation? But because they did not know the thing which is not perishable, thereafter this body which is liberated or not liberated will perish. They are busy. They are busy with the activities of this body which is surely perishable. What is the value of our independence? Can we avoid death? Suppose you are independent nation, what is the meaning of this independence? When death will come, will catch you by your neck and throw you away. Your independence, nonsense independence. What is the value of this independence? Be independent from the clutches of Maya. No more death. That is independence. That is independence. No more birth. That is independence. No more death. Otherwise, what is the meaning of independence? You are not independent. You are under the clutches of Maya. You are struggling. You are struggling to get out of the clutches of Maya, or the material nature, external energy of God. You are trying to make nice medicine to get out of the attack of disease. But you can manufacture a better medicine, but you cannot get out of disease. That is not possible. This is struggle. Now we have manufactured such a nice medicine that cancer or any other disease will not attack us. That's very nice. But find out some medicine that death will not attack you. That is not possible. Then what is the meaning of your advancement? So this Krishna consciousness movement is that medicine by which you can conquer our death. Therefore this is the best medicine. Thank you very much.
The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 16th Chapter, Text number 7, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on January 4th, 1974, in Los Angeles.
Khudrayusam Nina. Khudra, very small. Ayusam, duration of life. As we can compare that an ant's life or a germ's life, they are also living entity. Their duration of life is very small. There are many flies, they take their birth at night in the evening, and the whole night they are busy the same way, eating, sleeping, begetting children, and being afraid of. All the qualities are there. In India we have got experience, they are called Diwali germs or insects. In the evening, before the light, 1, 2, 3, in this way, by midnight, it increases to thousands and millions. And in the morning, at the end of the night, you'll find heaps of insects and dead body. Heaps, millions. So, there are different grades of life. It is called Mrityu Loka. This material world is called Mrityu Loka, where everyone dies. But there are grades of duration of life. One living entity has got 4 minutes life, another 10 minutes, another 100 minutes, then days, 1 day, 100 days, then a year, 1 year, or 4 years, or 5 years, or at most 100 years on this planet. The human being can live up to at most 100 years. But in other planets, there are other living entities, demigods, and the highest, the topmost planet is Brahmaloka. And you have learned from Bhagavad Gita, in the Brahmaloka, the duration of life, to our calculation, is very, very long. Sahasra Juga Pajyantam Arhajjat Brahmano Vidu. In the Brahmaloka, the duration of 12 hours, our 12 hours, morning to evening. That is many millions of years to our calculation. So, even if you go to that planet, Brahmaloka, and you are trying to go to the moon planet, from Shastra we understand in the moon planet, they live up to 10,000 of years according to heavenly calculation. In each planet, in each society, the calculation is different. So, it is calculated that in the moon planet, you can live for 10,000 of years, and that calculation is compared, our 6 months equal to 1 day in that planet. So just imagine how many years of our calculation they can live. But Bhagavan Sri Krishna informs us that wherever you may go, the Jamaraj is ready. The representative of Krishna as Jamaraj, just like the magistrate is also the representative of the government. So he is ready to come exactly as you finish your terms of duration of life. That is the way. Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartina arjuna. So, at the end of life, everyone becomes disgusted. Therefore, there is some release interval. At the end of life, mostly people, those who are especially ordinary human beings, they do not wish to live anymore. Even from the point of view, this body, old body, always diseased, rheumatic, pains. So, and there is no life for an old man, there is no enjoyment, material enjoyment. He wants to enjoy, but he cannot enjoy. Therefore, generally they become disgusted. There was a question, very nice question, by Akbar Badshah, the emperor, Maharaja Emperor, Mughal emperor of India, Akbar Bhasa. He was in the 15th century, 500 years ago. So, he kept very intelligent ministers. They would reply. Whatever inquiries are made by the emperor, the particular minister will inform, this is this. So, he inquired one minister, his name was, I forget now. So, how long the lusty desire continues? Sex desire. So he replied, up to the point of death. So the emperor said, no, how it can be? No, he has got the desire, but he cannot use it. His instruments become dull or useless, therefore, but the desire is there. And I don't believe it. I am not satisfied with this answer. But all right, sir, I will satisfy you. So one day all of a sudden, the minister came to Akbar Bhasa, sir, you will have to come with me immediately and take your young daughter with you. So Akbar Bhasa could understand there is some meaning, so immediately he prepared and took his young daughter with him. So he asked, where you are going? You'll come to know. So he entered in a house where an old man was on the deathbed, very old man. So the minister requested the emperor that when entering the room, he would kindly try to see the face of the lying man who was going to die. So Akbar was very intelligent, so he was seeing the face. So he marked it that the man was looking towards the young girl, not to the emperor. So he said, yes, I have got your answer. So these desires, this is the root cause of our coming to this material world, to enjoy. Enjoyment is there in the spiritual world, but there in the spiritual world, the enjoyer is Krishna, and everyone is enjoyed. That is the position. Just like in the Western countries, the woman declared that why we should not have equal rights with the man. But by nature it is different. The man is the enjoyer and the woman is the enjoyed. That is the position. Bhokta and bhogya. There are many social problems in your country. I do not wish to discuss, but it is very grave problems. But they do not know how to systematize the human form of life because they do not know what is the aim of life. That they do not know. The aim of life is to stop this repetition of birth and death. That is the aim of life. The so-called scientists, they do not know it, neither they work for it. They do not know it. So here it is said, Chudrayusha, those who have got small duration of life, although this small duration of life, human life, in comparison to the duration of life of other planets, it is very, very small. So, but they do not know how to fulfill the mission of living condition during this life. In the animal life, the consciousness is not developed, but the human form of life, although it is perishable, adhruvam, Prahlad Maharaj said, adhruvam. Dhruva means Saturn. So he advised, Kaumaro acharit pragya dharman bhagavatan iha durlavam manusam janma tadapi adhruvam arthadam. That is his advice, Prahlad Maharaj. He was talking with his class friend, 5 years old. So he was teaching them, just become Krishna conscious, chant Hare Krishna. Narad taught him. He listened from Narad. So he was convinced that this is the only business, how to make advance in Krishna consciousness by chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So he was Hiranyakashipu's son. He did not appoint any teacher to teach him about Krishna consciousness. But when he was in the womb of his mother, Narad Muni advised the mother about Krishna consciousness. She had to live for some time at the care of Narad Muni. When her husband was out being debated by the demigod, the Hiranyakashipu. So, the woman's anxiety was when her husband will come back. And at that time, the child was within the womb, and he begged a benediction from Narad. So kindly arrange in that way that as long as my husband does not come back, I may not give birth to this child. Narad Muni said, all right, it will be. So Narad Muni was giving him advice about Krishna consciousness, giving her. But her mind was absent. But the child within the womb, he was hearing. He was hearing. This is stated in the Bhagavatam, you'll find. When Prahlad Maharaj was asked this question by his friend, my dear Prahlad, we are also being taught by the same teacher, you are also being taught by the same teacher, you are a prince, you cannot go out, where from you have learnt all this nice instruction? So he replied that this instruction was given by Narada, so it was given to my mother, but as woman she has forgotten. And I remember. So that is the difference between a child in the womb and a grown-up woman. You see? That is by nature. They forget. Sri Shudra Dvijabandhuna Trayina Sutigochara. Therefore, Mahabharata was created by Vyasdev. Vedic instruction through history, through battle of Kurukshetra. Because Sri Shudra, woman, Shudra and Dvijabandhu, man born in high class family, but behavior is different. They are called Dvijabandhu. So they cannot understand the Vedic lessons directly. It is not possible. There were no such intelligence. Sri, Shudra and Dvijabandhu. The Vedanta Sutra says, Janmad dasajataha annayad itaratascha teshu. They cannot understand. Therefore, through Mahabharata, they are instructed. History they can hear. So, Prahlad Maharaj says, it is the duty of human being, even from childhood, Kaumara. Kaumara means from the age of 5th year up to 10th year. This is called Kaumara. So, people should be educated about this. That the problem is how to stop Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. This education, this is called Bhagavad instruction. You are noting, we are talking on Srimad Bhagavatam. The subject matter is how one shall transfer himself from this material world to the spiritual world and thereby stop birth, death, old age and disease. This is the whole subject matter. So, Mattana Ritamicchata. Mattana. They should be conscious that I do not wish to die. Now, why death is forced upon me? This is intelligent question. This is the most intelligent man's question. I do not want death. Just like if there is immediately some natural disturbance, I have got experience. Sometimes there was little trembling. The front house, people are crying, especially ladies, screaming. And that I have seen many times. As soon as there is big trembling, everyone becomes afraid, now we are going to die. So, everyone is afraid of death. But nobody thinks how to make a solution of this problem. But there is solution. Therefore, here it is said, Martana. Martana means those who are destined to die. Ritamicchata. If they are willing to live, if they want to stop calling the Jamaraj, Jamaraj means he will take you or take me, every one of us. After this body is finished, according to our karma, Jamaraj is there when we are sinful. Jamaraj is not for the devotees. That is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Ajamil Upakhan. Ajamil was a great sinful man. So, at the time of death, somehow or other, he remembered Narayan. Narayan. So he was very fond of his youngest child, and the Jamaraj, not directly by sending his men, Jamadut, so they are very fearful. So at the time of death, this Ajamil saw these fearful creatures, very odd looking. So he was very much afraid. Who are they? He thought, because he was very much affectionate to his youngest child, so his name was Narayan. He called him, Narayan, please come here, I am very much afraid. But you see the power of chanting the name of Narayan, he immediately became eligible to go to Vaikuntha. He did not mean Narayan, but Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he gives his commentation that he remembered real Narayan. After reference to the context, when he called for his child, Narayan, he remembered real Narayan, because in his boyhood, when he was up to his youthhood, he was very sincere devotee of Narayan, a son of a Brahmin, but he fell under the clutches of a prostitute. Therefore, after mixing with the prostitute, his all spiritual activity stopped. That is natural. So he became too much inclined to the prostitute, and he became a drunkard, he became a thief, he became a gambler, meat-eater, and debauched. All these qualifications he acquired by the association of one prostitute. And in this age, our only business is to mix with prostitutes. Just see our position. How much fallen they should be. There is open market for prostitution. This is modern civilization. By the association of one prostitute, Ajami was a Brahmin son, very regulative, following all the rules and regulations. But as soon as he associated with a prostitute, he became fallen down. So, this man remembered Narayan. According to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he supposed that simply calling the name of his son was not sufficient. He remembered Narayan. But according to Shastra, that Narayan, the holy name of the Lord, if one chants, even neglectfully, he also gets the chance of being liberated. That's the fact. Thank you very much.
The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 16th Chapter, Text number 8, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on January 5th, 1974, in Los Angeles.
Jamaraj. Jamaraj is the representative of the Lord. Just like the police chief, what is called the police chief, the superintendent or what? Commissioner. Commissioner of police. He is representative of government. So, the police department is fearful department for the criminals, not for the law-abiding persons. Similarly, Jamaraj is the superintendent of death. Death is certainly cruel. At any moment, death can stop all our activities. Nobody can protest. That is not possible. So, and nobody wants death also. That is also fact. But nobody can stop death also. The so-called scientific advancement, they cannot stop death. You can talk all kinds of nonsense about advancement of life, but after all you have to die. Big scientists, professors, they talk so many things, but when death came, he could not save him by his scientific process. Because death is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who can check? Therefore, the Lord's name is Ajita. Ajita. Ajita means one who is never conquered by any other means. Sarat, self-independent. These are the words used. Sarat. Sarat means fully independent. Nobody can make him dependent. That is Krishna, that is God. Everyone is dependent, but Krishna is not dependent. Therefore he is called Sarat. So, Maharaj, Jamaraj is representative. There are 12 recognized representatives of God. We have many times cited this verse. Swayambhu, Brahma, Lord Brahma is representative. And Narad, great sage Narad, he is representative. Shambhu, Lord Shiva, he is representative. Kapila, Kapildev, he is also representative. Kumara, the four Kumaras, son of Kumar. And Mano, Vaivasvata Mano. This is the age of Vaivasvata Mano. Mano received the transcendental knowledge from his father, Vivasvan, the sun god. So, Prahlad Maharaj is also representative of God. Prahlada, Janak, King Janak, father of Sita Devi, or father-in-law of Lord Ramchandra, he is also representative. Grihastha, the Janak Raja is Grihastha, householder. Narad is Brahmachari. Lord Brahma is also Grihastha. Lord Shiva is also Grihastha. Kumara, Brahmachari. Kapila, Brahmachari. So, there are many. Jamaraj is also Grihastha. Sukadeva Goswami is Brahmachari. So, it doesn't matter whether one is Brahmachari or a householder or a sannyasi. He must try to become confidential servant of the Lord. Then he becomes the representative of God, Krishna. So Jamaraj is a great devotee Vaishnava. We should not be afraid of Jamaraj. Those who are devotees, Jamaraj says that I offered them respect by obeisances. He advised his messengers that don't go to my devotees. They are to be offered respect by me. You go to persons who are reluctant to chant Hare Krishna mantra. You go there and bring them here for judgment. The Christian also believe the day of judgment. The judgment is given by Jamaraj. But who goes to his court for judgment? The criminals, those who are not devotees, those who are not Krishna conscious. They go to the court of Jamaraj. So in other words, it is the duty of the Jamaraj to see that everyone is becoming Krishna conscious. That is his duty. Just as the police department's duty is to see that everyone is law-abiding, acting according to the law of the state. Police is not anyone's enemy. He is enemy to the criminals, not to the law-abiding citizens. I have seen it, personal experience. In one of my friend's house there was burglary. The police inquiry was there. So we are going in another's house, the police man, and we also. So we saw in distant place a few men were fleeing. They were going away, hastily running away. So I inquired the police, why these people are running away? So he answered, you do not know, Babuji, that they are criminals. Because we are passing, they are thinking now the police is coming to arrest us. Although there is no purpose, how one can arrest? But they are what is called this, culprit mind is always suspicious. Because they are culprit, criminals, as soon as they saw the policeman is coming, they began to go away, run away. So Jamaraj is not to be afraid by the devotees. This is the purpose. And it is the Jamaraj's duty to see that these rascals who have forgotten Krishna or God and come here to enjoy material sense gratification, they must be punished, because material sense gratification is always sinful. We may create so many artificial laws, this is good and this is bad. Just like in your country, drinking is good. And in some other country, drinking is bad. In your country, meat eating is no offense. But in the Vedic civilization, meat eating is one of the foremost sinful activities. So, here the so-called good and bad, they are all mental creation. Otherwise, everything is bad, nothing good. Here only goodness is to become Krishna conscious. Otherwise everything is bad. So-called ethics, morality, and law, and good and bad, they're all rascal laws. It has no meaning. Because they are punishable. They can avoid the punishment of the law of the state. It's like in the government in every state, there is some punishment if one kills another living entity, another man, not living entity. There is punishment. The law punishes. If you kill somebody, if you commit murder, then you will be punished. This is punishable. But because it is man-made law, therefore it is defective. A man is a living entity, and a cow is also a living entity. Why this discrimination? That if a man is murdered or killed, that the murderer must be punished. But that law is not permissible in God's law. In God's law, either you kill a man or you kill an ant, you are punishable. You are punishable. You cannot avoid this. Because in the eyes of God, the Brahma, Lord Brahma, and a small ant, they are all sons of God. Sarvajuni shukontiya sambhavanti murtaya tasang mahajjani brahma aham bija pudapita. Krishna says like this, I am their father. To whom? Sarvajonishu, in all species of life, beginning from Brahma down to the ant. So, if you kill your brother, say who is not important, will your father approve? Oh, you have done nice. You are a very nice son. You are earning millions of dollars. And this man is useless, this boy. So you have killed. It is very nice. No, father will never tolerate. So the father, the useless son, and the earning son, both are equal in affection. So therefore, it is the duty of the elderly son, those who are advanced, not to kill the insufficient son, but to give them education of Krishna consciousness. This is the duty. It is not that because this living entity is useless and kill him. You can kill, but he will be implicated. Therefore the Yamaraj is there. Yamaraj's business is to see how much sinful this living entity is, and he is offered a similar body. Karmana daiva netrena. You will be judged after your death, every one of us. Of course, if we take Krishna consciousness seriously, then the path is automatic. Automatically, you go back to home, back to God. There is no question of judgment. Judgment is for the criminals, the rascals who are not Krishna conscious. But if you become Krishna conscious, even if you cannot finish the job in this life, even if you fall, still you will be given another chance of human body to begin where you ended, to begin from the point where you fell down. That was Salpam api yasya dharmasya trayate mahato haya. If you have taken to Krishna consciousness, try to execute it very seriously. Means to follow the rules and regulations, chant Hare Krishna, that's all. 5 things. No illicit sex, no gambling, no meat eating. We don't prohibit sex, but illicit sex is more sinful. More sinful. Unfortunately, they are so rascals, one sex to another, another sex to another. That is Maya's illusion, influence. But if you stick to Krishna, Mameva prapadanti, Mayame tang taranti. If you catch up Krishna's lotus feet very tightly, then you will not fall down. But if you make a show of so-called brahmachari, so-called grihastha, so-called sannyasi, then you will fall down. We are experiencing that. Then you must fall down. Krishna will not tolerate a defaulter, a pseudo-devotee. Maya is very strong. Immediately cut her. Come on. Why you are here? Why you are in this society? Get out. That is Yamaraj's duty. But if you remain in Krishna consciousness, Yamaraj will not touch you. Your death is stopped from the point where you begin Krishna consciousness. Your death is stopped. Nobody is prepared to die. That is a fact. You may say, I may say, no, I am not afraid of death. And that is another rascal. Everyone is afraid of death. And nobody wants to die. That is a fact. But if you are serious about that thing, that I shall stop my process of death, dying process, then it is Krishna consciousness. Therefore it is advised. Aho niroki kriyeta haririlam mritang vachaha. Oh, the human society, you have got this body. Just go on drinking the nectarine of Krishna Katha. It is advised here. Oh, niloke. Especially it has been advised in the niloke, the human society. It is not addressed to the dog loke or cat loke. They cannot. They have no capacity. Therefore it has been niloke. Nayang deho deho bhajang niloke. Another verse in the 5th canto. Nayang deho deho bhajang niloke. Kastan kaman arati virbhujang ji. These are the Bhagavad. There is no comparison, there is no literature throughout the universe like Srimad Bhagavad. There is no comparison, there is no competition. Every word is for the good of the human society. Every word, each and every word. Therefore, we stress so much in the book distribution. Somewhere or other, if the book goes in one's hand, he will be benefited. At least he will see, they have taken so much price, let me see what is there. If he reads one sloka, his life will be successful. If he reads one sloka, one word, this is such a nice thing. Therefore you are stressing so much. Please distribute book, distribute book, distribute book. Greater mridanga. We are chanting, playing our mridanga. It is hard within this room a little more. But this mridanga will go home to home, country to country, community to community. This mridanga. So, it is advised that niloke means the human form of body. In the human society, we don't dare discuss that this American society or this is European society, this is Indian society. No, all human beings. All human beings. It doesn't matter what he is. All human beings. What to speak of civilized men, even uncivilized, anarja, they are also described in the Bhagavad. Kirata hunand pulinda puppasa abhira sambha javana khasada. These names are there. Kirata. Kirata means the black. The Africans, they are called Kirata. Kirata huna andhra. Huna, the nation or the community on the North Pole, above Russian, German, they are called Huno. There are so many we do not know. Hasadaya, the Mongolians. Hasadaya means who does not grow sufficiently mustaches and beard. This Mongolian group. Hirata hunand pulinda puppasa abhira sumbha javana kasada. Javana. The militias, javanas means those who are Mohammedans and others. So, they are also included. Niloke, because it is Niloke, every human being. Superficially, externally, there may be this nation is better than that nation. That is fact. The Aryans and non-Aryans, there are division. Civilized, non-civilized, educated, non-educated, cultured, non-cultured, black, white, this and that. There are externally this, but that distinction is of the body. But the spirit soul is not this body. He is spirit. That quality is one. There is no such distinction. This is better, this is lower, this is black, this is white, this is civilized. In the spirit soul platform, everyone is one. One. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu. Sama. Samata. Samata means equality. Where? Brahma bhuta prasannatma. When one is self-realized, aham brahmasmi. I am not this body. I am not Christian, I am not Hindu, I am not black, I am not white, I am not fat, I am not thin. I am Brahma. Brahmasmi. That is called Brahma. I am spirit soul, part and parcel of God. My only business is to serve God. Because I am part and parcel of God. Just like I have given several times, the part and parcel of my body is this finger. What is the duty? To serve the whole body. I ask the finger, come here, immediately. Do this, yes? Natural. If I am part and parcel of God, then my only duty is to serve God. That's all. I have no other duty. Thank you very much.